It's finally here, the long-awaited sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles. Sonic Mania is a game fans have been waiting for since Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Episode 2, those were pretty flawed. I made a video about it, but Sonic Mania, this game from the start looked amazing. It wasn't about, oh, is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? No, it was, it's gonna be good. You could tell how much passion the developers put into this, and it's finally here, and I just can't believe it. So before I start today's review though, I need to explain a few things. Sega, yes, the people at Sega sent me a review code for this game. But the thing is, I was told I was going to get a response on if I was getting the code or not before launch day. But when launch day came around, however, I was given a code. Thing was, I already bought the game on the eShop when it was released to avoid spoilers, and because I didn't think Sega would respond now that it was already launch day and I didn't get any sort of response. Well, that was on me, as later in the day, Sega did give me a code as I stated before. So now I do own the Switch version and the PS4 Collector's Edition, but the footage I'll be using for this video is from the PS4 version. With that being said though, thank you Sega for the code. I apologize that I couldn't use it, but I really appreciate the thought that was put into it, and thank you for the code, and again, I apologize I couldn't use it. So now it's the moment of truth. Is Sonic Mania a good game? It's time to find out. So while I won't be spoiling any of the plot towards the end of the game, I will be spoiling the beginning and middle of this game. Mostly, you know, gameplay-wise, there'll be a lot of visual spoilers. So I just want to warn you guys on that before we start. So, anyways, I'll give you guys a few seconds. And now we'll start. Directly after the events of Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Eggman discovers a signal coming from Angel Island. Soon after, he creates a new batch of robots known as the Hard-Boiled Heavies to track it down. Eggman wasn't the only one who discovered the signal though, as Sonic and Tails discovers it directly after beating the final boss in the Doomsday Zone back in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Arriving on Angel Island once more, Sonic and Tails discover that Eggman's new crew of robots have already arrived before they did. Suddenly, the Hard-Boiled Heavies pull a stone from the ground. This stone is known as the Phantom Ruby. Its power can do two things: teleport someone to a different location, or teleport someone through dimensions. Soon after the stone is pulled from the ground, the Hard-Boiled Heavies uses its power to teleport Sonic, Tails, and even Knuckles, who is relaxing in a forest on Angel Island, to Green Hill Zone. With that, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles must stop the Hard-Boiled Heavies before they give the Phantom Ruby to Eggman. This story is very well crafted. It tells you everything you need to know without having to use dialogue. The in-game cutscenes that harken back to Sonic 3 and Knuckles are amazing. Plus, they even added animated cutscenes, which were done by the amazing Tyson Hess. Sadly though, you cannot rewatch these cutscenes after you beat the game, so you'll have to use level select or make a new file to see these cutscenes again. I really do hope they fix this in a future update though. Moving on to the thing that makes a video game, the gameplay. It's directly like the originals, but with lots of improvements. Christian Whitehead used his own retro engine for Mania, which was an engine he used before with his Sonic fan games. Speaking of that, yes, Christian Whitehead created fan games before he pitched his idea for this game to Sega, and then was hired for this project. That's crazy. He went from making Sonic fan games to working at Sega for a huge sequel to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Back to the gameplay though, it's exactly what you would expect. It's got the momentum-based gameplay of the classics, and again plays exactly like them but adds on to even more. Hey, also, you wanna know what Sonic Mania did in the beginning that Sonic 4 didn't? You could play as Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. You don't have to wait till the next episode to play as Tails or Knuckles, so good on you, Mania team. I'm proud. Okay, getting back on track though. While Tails and Knuckles have their old moves like in the original, the dev team gave Sonic a brand new move. This move is known as the drop dash. If you jump and hold the jump button while being in midair, Sonic will do a quicker spin move. The drop dash is great for when you want to get up a steep slope very quickly without charging the spin dash, or if you just want to speedrun a stage for the time trials mode. If you have all the emeralds though, it gets really annoying when I'm trying to drop dash, but I turn into Supersonic instead. I really wish they did map the Supersonic button to a different button on the controller. Speaking Speaking of modes, actually, let's talk about that for a few. You've got 3 different modes for Sonic Mania. Mania mode, which is the story or main mode for the game. Time Trials mode, which is a mode to see how fast you can complete a stage. Lastly, Competition mode. It's a mode that allows you and someone else to race against each other through a select few of the stages from the main game. Also, quite a few of the levels from the previous classic Sonic games return here. Examples include Green Hill, Chemical Plant, or Stardust Speedway. While people may complain about the levels being reused here, I like them. They add new quirks and gimmicks that make them even more enjoyable than in the original games. They innovate here with the classic levels. Like for example with the boss in Chemical Plant Act 2, you play a game of Mean Bean Machine. That is such an amazing concept that I never thought I'd see in a Sonic game ever again. I pretty much screamed when I first saw this boss because I have so many memories of playing Mean Bean Machine on the Sonic Mega Collection, and it was just a nostalgic boss to play through. I would have rather had more new stages than old, but again, the devs made the stages to where they feel fresh in multiple ways. Next is the special stages. These combine the Sonic 2 special stages, the Sonic 3 special stages, and the Sonic CD special stages. Nabbing the Chaos Emerald in this game is pretty simple. You just chase a UFO while building your Mach meter, and once you build it up enough and catch up to the UFO, you get the emerald. As always though, once you collect all 7 emeralds, you unlock Super Sonic. Lastly, the bonus stages. These bonus stages are the blue spheres from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Get all the blue spheres and you earn a medallion. These are similar to the medals in Sonic R, but instead of unlocking new characters, you unlock new modes. Also, debug mode returns here, and oh my gosh, it's amazing, it's nostalgic, and I just love it so much. As you can tell though, I really like debug mode, just a little bit too much, I think. Ooh. And the Knuckles mode, this is just wonderful. Like, just to look at this, this is true art in video game form. Presentation. All I need to say is that Mania's presentation is perfect. You know, let's start with the music because it's just, it's a masterpiece. This music was composed by the wonderful T-Lips, and this dude's been doing Sonic remixes on YouTube since 2009. I think I've known about his work since 2015, but when I heard he was hired for Sonic Mania, I just instantly got hyped for this soundtrack. The tracks in this game are beautiful. Every piece of music in this game is wonderful, and I just can't stop gushing over it. Oh yeah, T, if you're watching this, great work on the soundtrack, and I'm hoping for that Mania OST release on iTunes or on a CD. That would be pretty cool. For the sprite work, it's the best in the series. Yes, better than the sprite work in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Backgrounds look wonderful, especially in the one for Press Garden Act 2. This snowy forest just looks so peaceful, and I just want to run around in it. But by the way, Press Garden Act 2, that is the best original stage in the game. Just fight me if you want, but that is the best stage in the game. The sprite work on the characters are very well done. Like, you can see the detail on the characters very well. Oh, and the animation on just each of the character sprites are so smooth. For example, look at this little animation when you enter Chemical Plant Act 1. That is just so smooth. Oh, and going back to the environments, they just look so lush and organic. These places would just be amazing places to visit if they existed in real life. Overall, Sonic Mania is one well-crafted title in the series. Everything from the visuals to the soundtrack is just wonderful, and it's something I'm so glad I could experience. It's only $20, so please pick it up. It's a steal price for all the content you get in this game. It's got its issues, you know, like the Sonic CD stages carrying over the level design from Sonic CD that I did not like too much, or that it didn't have many original stages, but overall, it's just an amazing title to play anyways. So, what are you doing watching this video still? Just go buy the game, play it, give Sega your money, that's all.